Welcome to episode 29 of the Yessy's Designs Knitting Podcast. If this is the first time that you're here, my name is Yessy. I'm a maker, I'm a knitwear designer, and I'm recording this podcast from my studio in Connecticut. If you have not seen my work before or this channel, this is the place where I share the knitting that has happened since I saw you last, things that we are doing as a family, if I am attending any fiber related events, or something that I just want to share with you from the area where we live here in Connecticut. Today's episode is going to be just about Rhinebeck. I welcome all the new ones. And if you don't know what Rhinebeck is, this is the New York Sheep and Wool Festival. This is an event that brings so many people together from all over the world. We get together at Rhinebeck in the Duchess Fairgrounds, and we have a lot of fiber around us. We have a lot of vendors, so many people that attend this event. And this is an event that I have been going to for many years. Now this is our girls' day for my daughter and I. My daughter is 11 and she has been going with me since she's about 3 years old. So we take the whole day to be at Rhinebeck for this event. We go early for breakfast and then we just spend the whole day walking around the grounds. Let me know in the comments below if you attended this event. So again, this episode is just gonna be about Rhinebeck. I want to share the experience that we had attending this event. I think this is the first year in a long time where I don't go to any of the other satellite events that happened maybe a couple of days before the New York Wool and Sheep and Wool Festival. So usually I go to Cakepalooza. I couldn't go this year. That takes place on a Friday, I believe. I also go on the same Friday to Mount Kisco, to the yarn store, pick up every stitch. And it's a very nice opportunity to enjoy what the yarn store has been preparing for the ones that are attending. I believe this event is called the Road to Rhinebeck. So there is usually a designer, a trunk show, and then we can meet some of the other makers. It's a great place to just get together and connect with people. Again, I didn't go to this event. These are events that are on a small scale, but the ones that organize it, they do a beautiful job of bringing designers and makers, bakers, to bring people together that are in the world of the fiber arts. The event that I tried to go to, but the tickets were sold out, was a woolen affair. So I am gonna make sure that next year I get the tickets in advance as soon as they open the call, or when they have the tickets for sale. I'm gonna make sure that I get a couple for my daughter and myself. I waited too long. It's one of those things when, okay, I'm gonna get it, and then it's in the back of your mind, and then when you wanna do it, it's a little bit too late. But I enjoy seeing the stories from all the ones that I follow, that attended, and it seems like a very, very nice event. So if you have not been at any of these events, consider on Instagram, they are, I believe, a woolen affair, Cakepalooza, and Pick Up Every Stitch, the yarn store that is in Mount Kisco. So on Saturday, my daughter and I woke up very early. I always go early. I want to get parking close to the entrance. I don't like when it's when the car is so far back. So we go there, and it's really nice to see everybody at the beginning to get so excited just to get in. So we got there before they opened the doors, and it was just a delight. As I talk, I'm gonna be sharing footage of that event. I did not take too much footage. I felt that this time around going to Rhinebeck, it was a very relaxed pace. So again, it was my daughter and I. We arrived and we got our brochure for the event. One of the things that I like to get when I go to Rhinebeck is the bags for the year. So I'm gonna put a video of the bag for this year. I was in the line with my daughter for quite some time, but it was a nice opportunity to talk to the people in front of me, to the ones behind me, and it was great. So when we got to go inside the tent for the souvenirs, I got my bag for last year. So this is the bag for New York Ship and Wool Festival 2024, and I was so excited that they had some bags because I missed getting one last year. They were sold out, I believe, pretty quickly, or I got late to line up to go inside. So I got this one. I got the one for this year, and it's beautiful. I have usually my sweater projects in these bags, but on this one that I showed you, though I'm not showing like whips or finished pieces on this episode, but since I show you this one, in this bag I am holding right now yarn from pieces that I am working on for local shops and markets. So I got a while ago this beautiful yarn. It's Daily Stitch wool blend from Hobbii. Okay, here we go. It's a beautiful, beautiful yarn. It's in a gray tone with not speckles. Let me see. Tweed. So it's a tweed yarn that is absolutely beautiful. So I am making Sierra Nevada beanies with it. I'm working on one right now. It's a folded brim beanie. All of the ones that I'm making with this yarn are folded brim. And when I go to markets, they prefer the folded brim more than the regular brim or the double brim. People like this option because they can either have it more snug on the head or they can enjoy a slouchy fit. So this is how the Sierra Nevada beanies end up looking. And it's a delight to work on this piece. So I have quite a few balls of this yarn in my bag, and this yarn is the one that I'm using for the Sierra Nevada beanie. So that's what I'm working on, and that's what my new bag from the festival is holding at the moment. So the first place we went to was in the author's building. So it was really nice. I was looking forward to meet Olga Putano. Olga is the designer. I'm sure you know who she is. If not, I'm adding some pictures in here. Olga is such a wonderful designer. This is the second time that I see her, and she's always very kind. They give you time. And I have mentioned this before. I always appreciated that, especially in an event like this where there is so many people and so many people want to meet this designer, as overwhelmed as they can be. I think a lot of us, we try to be easygoing when we go and meet them. And I am sure that today's Monday, the Monday after Rhinebeck, I'm sure that they must be resting from all the social activity. But we met Olga, and it was very nice. So if you recall, if you have been following me for a while, last Rhinebeck, my daughter and I wore, our two sweaters were the same design from Olga. So I'm going to add some footage in here. So I got to show her, even though she has seen it on my direct messages on Instagram, got to show her how these sweaters looked on my daughter, her sweater, how it looked on her. And it's a beautiful, beautiful design. It's one design that I would like to make again. So that will be the third sweater of this pattern of Olga Putano. Right now I forgot the name of it, but I'm going to add it to the description below. So if you're curious, you can go and take a look at that sweater pattern. We met Olga in there. We met Sari. Again, I met Sari. Was it this year? Yes, this year when she went to my local yarn store, Stars Hollow Yarns. Sadly, they closed, so I don't have any yarn stores that close to me. I have to do a little bit of research and see what other yarn stores are around, but it was a beloved yarn store. So sad that it closed. But Sari was there and got to be with her for a while at the event that the yarn store held. and this is the second time I see her. So it was very nice to connect with her again, and to talk to her for a little bit. These designers are so, again, they are so kind, and it's just nice to see the support that they get, the love that they get, how people get excited to meet them. So I think they were the only two designers that we actually got to talk to at the author's building. Then we just walked around some of the different tents. We saw some of the activities with the sheep. We saw a couple of goats, some bunnies, and we ate. We had an early lunch, met a few other people, went to the hill, and that's the place where most likely you're gonna meet more of these makers and designers that you would like to talk to. So I talked to a lot of different makers because it was such an easy flow on this day. My daughter and I, we sat down a lot and talked to people that were next to us, either waiting for something or just sitting there working on their projects, or getting also ready to meet the designer of the pieces that they were wearing. So all the ones that made the Rhinebeck sweater from Andre Maury, they were kind of on the same place waiting for her. And Junction Fiber Mill, I was so looking forward to see them again. I just saw them carrying their sign so people could get to where they were for the meetup. So it's always exciting to see all of these different things that either the mills put together or the designers put together, so they can meet their fans, so they can meet the people. I got to see Gigi and Shelby. It's always such a pleasure to see them both. They radiate so much love, and it's always nice. So Gigi is one of the ones that I really look forward to see at every Rhinebeck. Her hug, her talk, just the. I have no words when you are with Gigi. You feel the love. You feel it's a comforting feeling when you are with her. So I'm sure that a lot of you, if it's not all of you, know Gigi. So she's very approachable. So Gigi is just wonderful, and I enjoy talking to Shelby, the books that she's reading, or what she has been up to lately. So it's a very nice opportunity to catch up. So that's the thing that I wanted to do mostly on this Rhinebeck weekend, which is to continue to connect with people, all of these ones that we kind of keep in touch as we are sending messages on their Instagram or commenting on their posts. People that we get kind of, we continue to stay in touch with them, but this is a great opportunity just to be with them. So when you see them, it's this feeling of, we haven't seen you in a year, but at the same time, it doesn't feel that long because you are kind of connected as you talk or interact with them through social media, for example. So we got to see also Samantha from Bubble Clubhouse. She's such a creative girl. I enjoy talking to her a lot. My daughter and I, we loved her outfit and the bag that she was wearing that she made herself. Such intricate designs, and she's always so sweet. And there were other makers that we met on the hill. Hi, this is future me, still doing laundry. Many days later, the story of our lives. I just noticed when I was editing the video that I forgot to talk about a couple of things. So when I was talking about the ones that I met at Rhinebeck, one of the other designers that I met at the author's book was Lavania Patricella. She was wearing this scrappy dress. Her pattern is going to be released at some point, and she looked absolutely stunning in it. I saw that dress and I thought, what a fun project to have on the needles. I have a basket over here, not this one, another big one behind it, full of partial skeins of worsted. I'm assuming from what I saw in that dress that the yarn weight might be either, I think it was more like a fingering from what I saw. So I don't have enough fingering because I'm using it for my cozy memories blanket, but you never know. It doesn't maybe have to be a scrappy dress. Maybe I can be intentional about the yarns and the colors that I will use. But it looked so, so cute on her that as soon as I saw it, I knew that it was going to be on my list of projects to work on. Again, it looks like such a fun piece. I got to talk to her for a while, and she was so sweet and everything. So it was very nice to have been able to meet her, to spend some time talking to her. Now, the other ones that I met at Rhinebeck were the ladies from Hobbii. I met them last year as well at Rhinebeck, Cakepalooza, when I went to the Hobbii party on one of the days of the Rhinebeck weekend. I forgot what day it was. Maybe the day of the Saturday of Rhinebeck, I would say. That's when we had the party, and I could bring my daughter to the party. It was really, really fun. So it's always a delight to see these girls. They are as creative and as fun, and as you can see in their posts from Hobbii. If you don't follow Hobbii, or if you have not worked with their yarns, I recommend it. It gives you like a flow of inspiration, creativity. It's like an energy that they give you, like a flow of creativity. The colors are super vibrant, such a wide range of colors in their yarns, and these ladies are so fun. So we got to talk about life, projects, what's on our needles, the things that we were wearing. And I'm gonna leave here some, I think I have a couple pictures, maybe one picture. We met more than once in our walk during the festival, and they are just amazing girls. So now I'm gonna let you continue to enjoy the rest of the video, and I see you later on a future video. Bye. And then we just kept walking around. We had a little snack before we head home. We actually left pretty early. So we left at around 2 o'clock. That was very early for me to leave at that time. But we pretty much walked everything, so everything we wanted to see. We still missed seeing quite of the designers and makers that we wanted to meet, but we didn't see them. So maybe next year. So hopefully next year we get to see them and spend some time talking to them. What else did we do on Saturday? No, I think that was pretty much it. When you go to Rhinebeck, and this is the thing that I love, besides connecting with these ones that we are in touch through Instagram or whatever social media, is to see how much people love knitting or crocheting, like the world of fiber arts. You sit down and it's like, I don't want to say a fashion show, but it kind of is, and you can see the people, what they chose to wear for that day. It's just the love of them showing what they are wearing, showing the love for the arts. People is just so excited. There were many groups of people sitting down on the hill on a picnic blanket or even in the parking lot, and they were knitting or crocheting together. Like it looked, I mean, I don't know the ones that were doing that, but it looks like it's an opportunity for them to hang out with people that maybe they haven't hung out in a while, and just sitting there and work together. This can be a very lonely experience. For example, like when we are makers or designers, a lot of times we are by ourselves, and there might be not, maybe we don't have that many opportunities to be knitting or crocheting with someone else. But when you see all of these ones together in one place, sharing the love for knitting, for crocheting, for yarn. It's like, it's really, really exciting. We love doing that. We love sitting down and just looking, complimenting people. Sometimes we ask what yarn is it, or a design that I might not be familiar with. You know, what design is that? Who's the designer? And they love talking about it. They love talking about what they have made, how long it took to make it. Some people, they were wearing their unfinished pieces. For example, for the meetup with Andrea, I saw a couple of sweaters that were still on the needles, and they were kind of quickly trying to work on more rows before the time to meet Andrea. So it's very exciting, and it's such a beautiful place. It was, at the beginning, it was pretty cold, so we were wearing our coats. When we left our house, it was about 37 degrees, so it was more like winter weather. We wore our coats again. So the pieces that we were wearing, especially my daughter, you couldn't see that too much, so we wore cowls. I knew I was not gonna take my coat off. The cold and I are not good friends. So I knew I wanted to be comfortable, which is one of the reasons why I chose to wear the Canterbury cowl that I made for my husband and for our last anniversary. And also a way to include Colombia in Rhinebeck. So I felt like if I was wearing a piece that was Colombian inspired, that I could bring some of my culture and the art that I grew up around with to this fiber event. You could tell that a lot of people were not from here. There were a lot of people from different backgrounds, which is always so exciting to see. Art, it has that power that it doesn't have any boundaries talking about countries or languages. We all love art, and it was a very nice place to see all of these coming together. So the weather at some point got a little bit warmer. Still, we were wearing our coats. A lot of people, they were not, but it was cold the whole time. So I tried to sit where the sun was facing me, and at some point it was very, very enjoyable. So Sunday, I believe the weather was better, like it was warmer. I didn't go Sunday. I don't think I have been on a Sunday at Rhinebeck. That might be something that I should do in the future. It should be less people. From what I saw, and if I want to compare how many people went this year to last year, at some point in the morning, I mentioned to my daughter, it looks like it's less people than last time. But at some point, there were so many that I don't know if it was about the same or more this year. But the weather was amazing this weekend, a little cold for me. But many were wearing their sweaters, and they didn't look like they were complaining. I just wanted to stay warm and just walk and talk and not be worried about how cold I was. Again, the cold and me, we get along when it's snowing. Like if there is snow, I'm okay with the cold. I don't mind. But when it's when it's like this, or no, I just don't take it too well. So it was again a beautiful day at Rhinebeck. We left, and then we came home, and I was ready to go to bed. We got ready for pajamas and everything, and we continued our girls' night or our girls' day here at home to get ready for the next day, where it was going to be busy as well, just doing other things with family and friends. So if you have not been at a Rhinebeck before, it's great. It's a beautiful experience. If you love seeing people, connecting with people, if you want to see other people that are enthusiastic as you are for yarn, and to support the designers, to support the makers, to support the yarn dyers and all of these farms that were having their yarn right there, all of these mills. It's a great place to see all the work that people put into what they make. So I'm going to leave you here. And thank you for joining me on this episode. If you liked it, make sure that you like the video on YouTube, subscribe if you would like to continue see more content from my side. Next episode is gonna be, I believe, a regular episode where I show you my whips, my finished pieces. If I already did a market, I'm gonna show you something in there or something else that is related to the fiber world. Thank you for being here, and I see you next time. Happy making and happy knitting.